Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, I asked this question in the members live stream only, and I figured I'd do a separate video because there's a lot to talk about. And of course, the question is, should Ingo come back as Jax? Now, I think with this whole Adam and Jocelyn and Bobby and everything like that, I think you can get some really good moments with Jax and Jocelyn, dealing with the loss of Bobby, dealing with the craziness of Adam and stuff like that, and Dex and Sonny and everything like that, what's been going on with Carly, with Nina. I think it would be really good to sit there and get some really good father-daughter scenes between those two. Okay? So for that reason, I would sit there and say yes. Now the thing is, Ingo. Now if been on social media, watching the show, whatever, sort of daytime special, you know that Steve is coming back, right? I, first of all, I was a person that did get vaccinated, but with that being said, I think it's a personal choice, and I think it should have been a personal choice. I don't think that it was fair for the company to sit there and tell you, well, you have to sit there and get this. I don't feel like it was fair. I feel like it should have been a personal choice. Now, social distancing, masks, and everything like that, cool. It prevents it and stuff like that. And I understood on some level, to some degree, of why they wanted you to get it, but it should have been more like a recommendation, not really like what you have to get it, because each body works differently when it comes towards that. Some people get a headache, some people get a cold, some people have long time symptoms. Okay? It's different for every person. This is why I'm sitting there stressing that it should have been a choice. So I understood why both actors left. The thing is, one did it in a way where it's quiet, the other one decided to make issues. Now, going into Ingo, right? I just watched this new video, and he was sitting there saying that he got fired, not so much because of that, like, even without the mandate, he felt he would have been fired because of his political views. And part of me doesn't, it's hard to believe that a company would sit there and fire you simply because you're a Republican and you're posting stuff, political views from your side of the table. But I can't sit there and deny to sit there and say that that's not entirely true. He gives an example of Nancy. She's a Democrat. She posts all the stuff like there's no tomorrow. He posts something, he gets tons of backlash. I'm a person that could sit there and watch actor, and actress, regardless of whatever political spectrum that they're in, and enjoy their work, or sit there and be like, well, you suck as an actor or an actress based off your work, not because of your views. But not everyone can sit there and do that, and I get that. Now, he did sue, and I'm very split on that, right? Because it really depends on the reason of why. Ultimately, it winds up shooting you in the foot. Look at the whole Monique thing, right? Now he's not there saying that he sued because they fired him for the mandate and everything else. But see, this is where it always blows me. Okay, and I use Monique as an example. Let's sit there and say that both of them got their ways, and Monique was able to sit there and get paid what she wanted to get paid, and he was throwing the shop. Would they still be sitting there being so activist about those particular subjects? Because I don't think that they would. That's my thing. Those two sued when it got in their way. And then they want to sit there and say, well, I'm doing this for the people that's going to come after me. Bullshit. But I don't know. I look at some of the stuff that Ingo has said, and people have said that he said out of pocket comments at best, especially with the whole Terry situation. I said this before, and I'll say this again: ignorance. But ignorance can sit there and be educated. You know, you can always sit there and be wrong about something 1 minute, get educated on it, and learn about it, and be like, okay, I'm going to move differently. I like to sit there and think that I'm good at what I'm doing. But I'm only good because people have sat there and say, hey, listen, you need to sit there and think of it this way, or, I like you, but, what you're saying is kind of out of pocket for X and Y reasons. Cool. I'm going to sit there and learn. I'm going to move forward. And I think that's the same thing that can be said with him, especially with the whole Terry situation. Now, he was sitting there saying that when the first initial lawsuit wound up happening, he said that they had to show like documents and stuff like that. And he said that, hey, listen, they fired me for my political views. And if that's the case, then that's pretty messed up. And I can understand why he's suing, and why he's refiling, because if it can happen to him, it can happen to anyone. And so on that level, I do understand why he's doing what he's doing. And that's the thing. You don't have to agree with his political views. You just have to sit there and respect that he has them. And he should be able to sit there and post whatever stuff that he wants to post. If you have Nancy Smith there doing the same thing, then keep that same energy for Ingo. I'm a firm believer in keeping the same energy. That's just point blank, period. I'm very interested to sit there and see how this plays out. And yeah, I've heard that he said other comments and stuff like that has been not so nice or whatever. I take that stuff with a grain of salt. Now, I'm nowhere near as big as him or anything like that, but as YouTubers, we say things all the time. And, if, God forbid, I'm ever in some sort of controversy or whatever, and people go back and they get clips of my old stuff that I said like maybe 5 years ago or 6 years ago, I can understand how that's pretty frustrating, you know? As human beings, we're going to sit there and say some out of pocket stuff. And why I don't excuse the stuff that Ingo said, we're not perfect. We're just simply not. We're going to say out of pocket stuff. It's just how it is. When you are in the public, you're speaking, things happen, and the only thing you can sit there and do is say, you know what, I own that, or learn from it and move and do better. But I'm very curious to sit there and see. I'm very curious to sit there and hear people's comments and stuff like that. What do you think? Do you think that he should come back? Do you think that his characters are relevant? I mean, hell, they don't even sit there and talk about it anymore. They don't bring him up or anything like that. It's like GH just remember the movie Forgotten? Yeah, yeah. That's pretty much how you can sit there and sum up Jack's character. And with that being said, let's just sit there and say Engel doesn't come back, or you don't want Engel come back. Do you think that the character is essential? And do you think that they could sit there and recast them and bring another person to be Jax? I'm very shifty on recast. If you been watching General Hospital, you saw how they handled the Molly situation. I think we're on Molly number 4, give or take. With There's times where an actor will be on there for so long that I feel personally that they made the character. Eden McCoy made the Jocelyn character, right? Kelly Monaco made the Sam character. She made that character. Every time that she comes on and she acts a certain way, she says something, whatever, that's her character. And she's morphed that character into her own. And I can appreciate that and respect that. That's why when you saw Alexis played by somebody different, it was just like, what the? Because she made that character. And I think the same argument could be said for Ingo playing Jax. Now, could somebody else do it? Sure. Could they do it better? Well, that varies. Varies from person to person. But I wouldn't sit there and be all like, nay, no. I'll give it a chance and go from there. But I want to know what your thoughts are. Let me know in the comment section below. I want to thank you for watching. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next video.